Hey guys, I'm Kristine. I'm the Trails Operations Manager for the Tahoe Rim Trail Association. And before this, I was a backcountry ranger for 4 seasons. So I'm going to talk about how to backpack, how to prepare for a couple day tour. So I have a few examples of backpacks. This is a 25 liter, which I use for a day pack. So in my day pack, this would not suffice for an overnight trip. And then this is a 40 liter, so maybe something you'd want to do for like one night, but it still might be pushing it. This big guy is an 80 liter. It's a little excessive. I'm going to use this one for an example today on how to fit all of our gear. I recommend like a 60 to 70 is really great, especially if you're going out for 4 or 5 days. Okay, so you want to start with your heaviest, bulkiest gear at the base, the lower part of your backpack, so that it's at your center of gravity. And you want to make sure that you evenly distribute all of your weight so you're not going side to side when you're hiking. And also things that you won't need until that night. So I like to put my sleeping bag and my sleeping pad at the bottom of my backpack. Then I put my bear bin, my bear vault, at the bottom of my backpack. And this thing I have already packed with food and my cook set. So this would be really excessive for just a few nights. You could probably go, one of these will last a few days. But I have 2 examples of a bigger fuel tank and a smaller one for a type of pocket rocket or any type of small stove. You really want to make sure you have hand sanitizer, some type of utility set, spoon, knife set. And then in there I have my stove, snacks, and a pot. So food storage in the backcountry is really crucial. I really recommend any type of bear vault or anything in the canister that will hold your food, because bear hangings can be really difficult, and if you don't do it properly, which I won't even get into today, but if you don't do it properly, your food won't be safe for your trip. So this is going to be a really heavy item because this is your food this is about for like 4 days worth of food. So that goes in the middle. I like to put all of my clothes in a waterproof stuff sack. So in there I also have like a little inflatable pillow. I have extra layers like a sweatshirt, leggings, extra socks, and then you want to make sure that you have a waterproof layer. This is a rain jacket. I like to keep that outside just in case there's storms coming in the afternoon. A warm hat and some gloves are really great to have at camp when you're cooking, depending on how cold it will get that night. Up in the mountains, it's usually a lot colder than what you would think, and you always want to be prepared. I also like to put things on the side next to my bear can, so I'll put my rain jacket where it's still accessible. This is a rain fly. I also, at the bottom of my backpack, I have an extra garbage bag to keep everything in the bottom dry, and then this is an actual rain cover for my backpack, so I put that on the side, along with the bandana, face net. You're going to be using the restroom on overnight, so I like to have a little poo kit together. Put that over here. Depending on how long I'm hiking and how much water I bring out with me, I'll usually have at least 1 liter full. This little dry sack has my water filter inside of it. There's tons of really great options. I use the Sawyer, so it's just small. I put that on the side of my backpack so that's easy to get to. A first aid kit is super crucial, so I put that on my front pouch so it's super easy to get to if anything happens. You want a headlamp. Depending on what time of the season, I carry an emergency blanket. This Ziploc bag has a bunch of extra things like a triangle bandage, a gear tie, a multi-tool, a zip tie. Definitely need 1 lighter. I like to bring 2 just in case something happens so you can cook or boil water. A compass, duct tape is super great, and sunscreen and chapstick so you can stay safe in those warm summer days. I also have an extra bladder, so when you're cooking you can just fill up a bunch of water at the water source and filter it later. Definitely want sunglasses for eye protection. Those will probably be on person. Always have your map accessible. I like to carry a little notepad and pen to record things on the trail, things you've seen, maybe some birds or animals that you didn't know what they were for a later date. You can look them up. And then personal hygiene is super important in the backcountry. Brushing your teeth and flossing is super great out there, especially if you're going for like 3 or 4 days. It's so important, and you'll feel better. Zip all these things up, and you want to make sure you're really getting all the air out, and that way things are even and equally distributed. And then I like to put my tent, because it's not super heavy, but this way it's equally distributed. And then that way there's lots of straps to keep it from going anywhere. This is my lunch bag. Keep it in the brain, so when I'm backpacking, I have access to it and I don't have to take my backpack apart. So when I'm putting my backpack on, when it's all loaded, I like to put it on one knee, arm through. That way you can put your heavy backpack on all by yourself. Hope you guys have a great day and have a safe time on the trails.